stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
At T plus 33 seconds, you are watching Falcon 9 accelerate our Starlink satellites out into space. We are throttling down our engines on the first stage vehicle, and that is in preparation for Max Q.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Good call-outs there. Max Q is the largest amount of stresses that the vehicle sees on ascent, so we do slow the vehicle down just a little bit in preparation for passing through Max Q. And that should be coming up.
Supersonic.
That should be coming up here in just under 10 seconds.
Max Q.
Great news, we have passed through Max Q.
All right, we're a minute and a half into...
MVAC engine chill has started.
That call there tells us that the engine on the second stage, that MVAC, has begun to flow some super chilled liquid oxygen through the engine to begin to bring that hardware down in temperature. We're less than a minute away from main engine cutoff, stage separation, second engine start. Those all happen really quickly, so don't blink. After that, we will jettison the fairings. At this point in time, the first stage is experiencing about 3.3 Gs. Beautiful view there on your screen of the vehicle as it's just lifted off from Vandenberg Space Force Base. It's now able to see that plume beginning to deplete as we are preparing for main engine cutoff.
Main engine cutoff. Stage separation confirmed.
All right, as you can see there on your screen, successful MVAC ignition there on your right-hand side. And before that, we had first stage engine shutdown and stage separation. We can see here on the left-hand side of the screen, the first stage grid fin starting to deploy. Those help steer the booster back to its precise landing.
Fairing separation confirmed.
All right, as you heard and just saw, successful fairing separation. That marks the 9th flight for one of those fairing halves and the 11th flight for the other. We, of course, will attempt to recover those fairing halves again to use on a future flight.
T plus 3 minutes and 48 seconds into flight, and right now you are looking at a view from the second stage vehicle looking at our MVAC engine, glowing very brightly there. The first stage is making its way back down to Earth right now, and it does take 2 burns to make its way back down to our drone ship, which is, of course, I Still Love You for tonight's scheduled landing. Those 2 burns coming up will be the entry burn, which is just about a couple minutes away from now, followed by the landing burn. The entry burn is where we reignite 3 of the 9 M1D engines on the vehicle, and that helps slow the stage down as it's re-entering back into the Earth's atmosphere. Then once we shut down those engines to conclude the entry burn, the atmosphere actually scrubs most of the velocity as it's making its way back to its landing zone. And then we use one final burn, a single engine burn. The center E9 engine will reignite, and that will help to slow the vehicle down just in time to touch down for landing. Again, the entry burn on the first stage is coming up in a little over a minute from now. And though you can't see it on your screen, on the bottom left-hand corner, you could see the telemetry of the Stage 1 vehicle, so you could see its speed and altitude. And for the second stage vehicle, on your right hand, the right bottom corner of your screen is where you can see the telemetry for Stage 2. We're about 1 minute away from the entry burn on the first stage vehicle.
Both vehicles following a nominal trajectory.
And good call-outs there. Both first stage and second stage are following nominal trajectories. Today's mission marks SpaceX's 296th overall launch, and it is the first of 2024. Again, it is carrying our Starlink satellites for this mission, including our first 6 direct-to-cell satellites. Now that entry burn on the first stage is coming up in just under 20 seconds. There you can see on your left-hand screen is a view from the first stage.
Entry burn startup.
Good timing. We heard that call out, and now you can see on your screen those engines have relit on the first stage vehicle. This is just about a 20-second burn.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
There we heard that call out, as well as you could see that the engines have shut down on the first stage vehicle. That concludes the entry burn, the first of 2 burns that the first stage requires to make its way back to landing. The next burn is the landing burn, coming up in just about a minute and a half.
Stage 1 FTS has safed.
Everything continues to look good for both the first and second stage. If you've been following along with that altitude there on the left-hand side of your screen for stage 1, it actually kept increasing in altitude until about 4.5 minutes, T plus 4.5 minutes. As we can see, it's getting closer and closer. We are targeting a landing on our drone ship. Just read the instructions. Excuse me, of course, I still love you. And there we just heard the call out that the first stage is transonic, telling us that it is traveling near the speed of sound. Now only 6 kilometers above the ocean. So in about 12 seconds, we should see that landing burn ignite. That's a 1-engine burn designed to bring
Stage 1 landing burn.
There we heard the call out, so we should see it here. There we go. So the first stage has lit 1 engine to prepare for landing.
Stage 2 FTS has safed.
We're targeting a landing on our drone ship, which you there see there now. Of course, I still love you.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
A beautiful nighttime shot there of a successful landing. That is Falcon 9 touching down for the 260th overall successful recovery of an orbital class rocket.